Good morning! This is the Abundance Mindset Podcast. Sit back and relax as we discuss hot topics on how to handle and grow your business, self-development, and how positivity can bring profitability in your life. Here are your hosts, Vinnie and Gualter.
2, 1. Welcome back, alchemists. This is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Chopra. Vinnie, welcome back from your backyard.
I know. Thank you. Thank you, Gualter. It's a pleasure. I know I walked this morning, but it was cold, and I'm wearing shorts and all that. So I said, okay, I'll walk some, come back, and now it's sunny here in Northern California. I'm over here near San Francisco. So I'm going to walk after the show.
So you walked a little bit, though. You got a little bit of
I did.
morning.
Yes. And now it's going to be, nice and sunny. So I thought, okay, I'll just do the show from here. Yeah.
So if you're new to Alchemist Nation, if you're new to Abundance Thursdays, every single Thursday, Vinnie walks us through one of the wealth principles. There's 52 in total. And now if you don't know who Vinney Chopra is, one, you've been sleeping under a rock. And if you do know who he is, then you already know this guy is on a mission to help a lot of people. He's got two $100 million funds for real estate, one in hospitality and one in assisted living. And then prior to this new accomplishment, he's already acquired $1.6 billion in multifamily housing. And he still has those funds, he still has those projects. One of the things that's very interesting about Vinny is he came to this country with only $7. $7 in his hand. He's not from America, but at 71 years old, he's still looking to put another $1 billion of assets under management. So Vinny, welcome back to the show, brother.
Thank you, Gualter. It's such a pleasure to be with you every Thursday, 9 a.m. Pacific and 12 Eastern, right there. And, if we can give more knowledge out, the better it will be for everybody, moving ourselves into more growth and more getting better, and then doing a lot of things in our life. We have a short period of span, 100 years. If somebody even lives 100 years, we are like a dot. I just was very intrigued with some notion, how Earth was formed. Millions and billions of years. And from National Geographic, I just did the search on YouTube and went through this 1.5 hour of beautiful, beautiful video, how this Earth was formed. And it really brought back so many great, I knew some, but I didn't know some. You know how it is? Like we say, dinosaur years and millions of years back, and how the whole solar system, it broke up and how it came together. It's mind-boggling. And this morning, I saw from the Chandran from our India, they launched the satellite. Some pictures are coming of the moon, and the moon looks like the Earth. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It just looks like, rocks and everything and desert, all those things. So it's really fascinating. But the key thing I wanted to say that was this 100 years of our life, let's make it meaningful. We can make it the best 100 years or 75 or whatever. And as our population is increasing, we're getting younger, I say always, every birthday you get 1 year younger. So when you're 100, you might be 0. No.
So as you're talking, Vinny, I've got to sidebar this topic. I'm coming back to this because today's wealth principle is 44. It's wealth principle 44. It's systemize your business so it runs without you, so it works without you. But before we dive into that principle, you brought up one of my favorite topics, which is the universe, how it was all created, the earth itself, dinosaurs getting wiped out 50 million years ago, 65 million years ago. Like all those things to me are super fascinating. And the fact that the moon looks exactly like the earth, there's a theory that this dwarf planet hit our earth, this planet they call Theia hit the earth and made the moon. Yeah. And I look at all of it like, man, it's impossible that we're here. It's absolutely impossible that we're here.
It's amazing. We get so petty. We think that this life is very big. It's not that big. It's not. 100 years is not even showing on a dinosaur year line. We won't be there. We won't be there. So why are we worried about so much? Why do we have the egos, and why do we have all these things? We hold grudges, and we are not positive, we are negative. We are attracted by all the negativism. The whole news and everything is so negative anyway. We could do a show on that
it's
one.
it's so funny because you and I can talk about this for hours, and maybe at the summit we'll have to have a conversation at the VIP dinner. But it's like we think about like biology. We're going to go back to systems, but we think about this: the biology of all the planets, all the animals on the planet that have the same thing. They remember forever if something ate them, bit them, stung them, hurt them. Like they remembered, like don't mess with that. If they hear even the sound of something, an animal that made that noise around the same time they got hurt, they're like, remember that. So we as humans, we still have those memories that nature gave us, like the instinct to remember things that hurt us, and also to pay attention to things that hurt us. If an animal sees something that in the past hurt, it will keep its eyes on it the whole time. It will walk by it very cautiously. So we're
so true, brother. In our mind, body, soul, I mean, our brain is so small. It's a supercomputer. I know AI is taken over, but supercomputer, we remember so much, so much. And the worst thing is we remember the bad things more than the positive things.
Easy things to remember are the ones that hurt us, because it's like avoid that. So let's for everybody who's listening, let's dive into business systems. Now we're not going to have a chance to get into all of them, so those of you who are listening, there is on the link, if you look at the description on the link, Vinny actually sent it into ChatGPT, said, hey, here are some of the systems I use, give me cool icons. So if you want emojis that attach to Vinny really wanted the emojis, so the emojis are in there as well, and they identify what they are. So we're gonna dive through a couple of the systems that you use in your business as a real estate investor, as a fund manager, as somebody who invests other people's money. Something you mentioned 2 weeks ago was that you never borrow other people's money. You always invest other people's money.
So
you don't
true.
like borrowing,
So very
you
true.
like investing.
No.
So what are some of the systems? Because you have to be systemized.
You have to be. And a lot of time people call me, they say, Vinny's a systems guy, for many, 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 many years. Being an engineer also, it just gets my mind, I want to do it this, and leave it. Let it just grow. Then the systems. So the number one thing I really say is that for any business to do well is to create standard operating procedures. We call them, in short, SOPs. SOPs, if you have heard about them, that is like documenting all key processes, all the different tasks that we need to get done, right? Defining clear steps, because we use so many international assistants. I never say virtual anymore, because we have virtual assistants living in USA, actually, right?
Sure.
So it's the international or domestic, we could say, assistants. So if they leave us, what do we do? It's good to have SOPs with the digital. Actually, nobody has those manuals anymore, right? We used to do them when I was managing the apartments and all. We'll put everything in a book, this thick book, and they had to sign, employees had to sign, and all team members. But that's the huge part, right? To have a complete procedures so that you could be away from the business. All we are doing these things is to formalize systems so that you don't have to be in the business, but you are outside. Of course, the automation is huge. You want to really have all these softwares. They are cutting edge softwares, and we believe in them. Like Go High Level, you and I use those thanks to you and Ken Walls, who introduced me to Go High Level, and that's one of the best system out there. Click funnels, active campaigns, all these. I mean, it's mother of everything in there. Texting,
Kajabi, yeah, you name it.
Kajabi,
you name it. It's all in there. Yeah,
it's everything there.
we built all of Alchemist Connect on the back end of High Level. It just
High Level, totally, and mine too. All the different companies, everything. We are putting more and more
switched
efforts
over. Yeah,
switched over.
you have to. So for those people who are listening and saying, okay, like SOPs, automations, what software to use for SOPs? For me, I know we do a lot of Google Docs.
Slack,
I think you've been moving.
Google Docs. Yeah, we've been doing. Google Docs is amazing. Of course, I have also have a lot of things in the Dropbox.
We still use Dropbox. Yep.
Oh my gosh, 3.6 terabytes, I think, or
I'm at
something.
5.
5. Okay, you're much bigger than me.
The
So,
summit alone,
those,
Vinny. Wait till we send you all the videos from the summit this year. It's like a terabyte.
oh my gosh, oh my God. And the other part is, of course, you want to have a Slack or Asana or some kind of procedure so that you are able to task oriented, right?
Yep.
And one of the thing I would love to share with everybody, which you might know, it's called Screenshot Monitor. Screenshot Monitor is a software you could install on your laptop and your team members' laptops so that you could really not to see that they are working or not working, but it takes picture every 15 minutes or something so that everybody is very accountable to the productivity and efficiency.
We
So
do this
you
with our
can introduce,
VAs. Yeah.
do you? Yeah,
Our international partners, Vinny. You're right.
international partners. So
We do
that's
this for our
what
international partners.
yes,
Yep.
exactly. And it's just keeps everybody honest. And that's the beauty of it. And screenshotmonitor.com or something, pretty inexpensive software, but that calculates their income also. So
Yep.
as a matter of fact, I had an instance where one of my VA, he was coming in the morning and working for about 1.5 hours, literally, and then coming back at about 3:30, 4 o'clock again and try to change some pictures. But the rest of the 6 hours, she was working somewhere else. I'm not saying everybody does it, but that's what got me. And I looked at it. I said, you know what? You are not here, here, here. She tried to give me some more examples and all. But anyway, so it's very good. The other thing is to really, the processes and the deadlines have to be defined. That's a big one. I
Yep.
think we put it in the show notes also, because we have to implement all the different things to make sure that if you're working away from your business, right? That's what our main thinking is, runs without you. You
Yep.
want to take all these things into hiring the right people, is a big one, brother. Setting processes and deadlines, of course, implementation of security measures. I got hacked 2017, I think, is the
Well, even
year.
recently, I remember your YouTube channel. We lost access to your YouTube channel for a little
Oh,
while.
yes, yes, yes. Crypto people somehow came in and they were able to starting publishing all this crap, Oh
It was
my gosh.
garbage.
Yeah.
Suddenly,
Garbage. Yeah.
Vinny was selling Digimon cryptocurrencies.
I know,
What happened,
I,
man?
I don't even know about it. And we had to go through 2.5 months because YouTube or Google does not allow you to regain unless you prove everything without the shadow of a doubt, because they can get sued by the other people. So anyway, I could feel that. And Bill Davis, thank you, Bill, again, brother. He was the ironical person who really started chatting with them and all, and we got it back. Thank you. Otherwise, we'd have lost almost 5,000 subscribers, over
Which
there
on
in
YouTube, that's a
YouTube.
big deal.
In
That's
YouTube,
a big deal.
Yeah. And cybersecurity, I would really like to talk to everybody listening to us. It's so important that you take care of I think I have several softwares on the laptops and all, because when I got hacked, they really made another website with a little switching of one of the alphabet. That's what they did. And they were able to then improve my picture and everything and sending out to my investors and to all. So some people might have gotten through. So once I found out, I just took action. And that's what everybody should. And there is cyber insurance also. I know now my partner, Mr. Anshu Bansal, he started this cloud defense company, which is in cybersecurity. It's a startup which is doing really well now. 4 years, 5 years back, we started, I think, something like that, 5 years, I think. Anyway, but no, those things are very, very important. What other things, when we move Yeah, go ahead.
I gotta ask. So for those of you who are listening right now, Vinny just dropped into a lot of different things that are specific to a capital raiser, right? So one, you've got to protect your list. You always protect your list of investors, right? Those investors are your investors, those are your relationships, but people want them.
Yes.
People genuinely, desperately want them. I get begged all the time. Hey, can you connect me with one of your private money lenders? I'll send you to a hard money lender. I'll send you to a traditional commercial lender, but I'm not going to send you one of my friends who trusts me with their finances, trust me with their information and their family's financial situation. Like, no, so as investors, it's our job to protect those. So that brings me back to something I saw on a post, on a syndication post in a Facebook group this week, and they were asking, what software do you use as a capital raiser for people to see projects or progress of the fund, or what's happening? What software do you use where people can go and maybe apply to be an investor with you? What is the easiest way? So if somebody wanted to invest with Vinny, what is the easiest way? What would they walk through? What does the experience look like?
I would say, I've been through many of them, 4 of them, by the way. And at present, we are using.
You are the perfect person for us to ask.
I appreciate that. What I find is that there needs to be easy procedures, easy way for investors to fill out documentation, DocuSign, and also come back to the portal with their secured password and everything to get their K1s and updates and see their whole legal documents up there. Distributions are passed through portals and now through just like the same implementation of banking, what's the word? Like there is a special word where it's very
ACH,
protected. ACH and all that. Yep, exactly. Appfolio, by the way, APPFOLIO, appfolio.com is the one we are using now. Before that, we have used IMS also. Another part of my other company, new business with the funds, we are using Invest Next is another one.
Next is another one.
Invest Next, another one, brother. And
have you worked with Cashflow Portal?
Okay, I have not.
Okay.
No, Cashflow Portal. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Beautiful.
Appfolio, though, that's a property management software also, right?
It's a property management as well as investor relations. So I kind of like that combination of the two. This way the reports can migrate right from your property management side straight into there.
Oh, that's cool. So I've always used Buildium on the property management side.
Buildium.
I'll have to look to see if they have an investor portal, because that would be cool.
For sure.
But Appfolio, it's interesting. That is probably the biggest, I'd say that's the biggest property management software. So for them to have that feature for an investor, that's really, really cool.
Totally, And Gualter, the other part, what you just really touched was everybody listening to us, never give out your precious, valuable investors list to anybody. Only our daughter, Monica, my wife and I, and only our VP of Finance, who is very established. She's been with us 16 years. Only she knows. Nobody else knows these 780 investors or who we have, who have given us 3 million, 4 million, 5 million, and and so on. So it's very protected with everything you got, because people may say to you, oh, nobody's going to touch your list. I've got NCND and all that crap. Totally crap. When it comes to, some deal comes through, they will send them and poach them and circumvent you. So that's a really, really good. I'm trying to tell everybody listening to us. Yeah.
And so I want to be very clear. Vinny and myself, we have the mindset of abundance, right? We're all about alchemists. We're all about taking, creation versus competition. But when it comes to your list, you have to protect your list. You have to respect your list. It's not about, like, I have absolutely said, I've got a deal that a friend of mine is raising, like Vinny. I have had people go and speak with Vinny because Vinny has showed me a deal. I say, yep, I got a buddy who might be interested in that. I personally go to my list, and then I can make that connection to Vinny and say, hey, this person.
Totally.
But do not ever let somebody have the list.
No.
It's disrespectful.
And and there are websites where they're saying, go ahead and upload your lists, and we'll send out your packets and all that. I would rather do it myself, do it through, I think, Constant Contact or MailChimp, which doesn't cost much at all. Try to do it that way, so that you are not sharing it with big number of other people. Yeah.
100%. Yeah,
You know,
100%. It's
you know,
it's just
the
one of those
the
things.
I
Yeah.
agree. You know, the
So
one thing
I don't I
which
don't
I
want to
wanted to mention. Yeah, go
I don't
ahead.
want to derail
Go
us. Go ahead. No, we're talking about systems,
ahead.
man.
Systems.
Systems
I
for
would say.
hiring.
I
Like
would
obviously
say.
before we even talk about systems for hiring as a
Mhm.
system itself, or
Oh
like
my
using other
gosh.
people, other
Oh,
people's skills, other people's time, other people's energy,
totally.
knowledge,
Totally.
like that's a system in itself. That's a system that you can be built and acquired. You can just acquire
Totally.
those systems just by hiring somebody.
Yeah.
How do you know the right people to hire to save you time? Because I know you, Vinny. You're on vacation all the time. Maybe not as
It's
much in the
hard.
past, but this year you
It's
have really.
hard, brother. Yeah, it's hard. Getting the right people, motivated people who have catch the vision and you pay them right. See, that's the other part. You know, you got to make sure that you find the right people and align yourself. Look at their background. You're right. And pay them nice and have them vested interest in your business. See, the reason the investors like to give us money in my companies is because they are equity partners. They are not debt partners. They are not just giving the money and say, okay, I'm going to make 7, 8% or whatever, but they can make 15, 20, 30% because of the equity. You know, when we sell assets and so forth or refinance, we call it waterfalls. So that's why they feel that their money is working and growing like that,
So
right?
actually,
So
before we talk about getting your clients and your partners invested, let me just clear up what Vinny just said. Basically, there's ghost income. It's called internal rate of
mhm,
return. There's money beyond just cash flow, beyond the check that's sent to you. There's
yeah,
depreciation, there's appreciation if the property goes up in value, and there's amortization of the loan being paid down. That's something that when you invest for equity
yeah,
with a syndicator, you end up getting all these extra internal rates of return. So Vinny, like as a syndicator, if you're getting access to that, you're getting literally, it could be double, triple, 4 times as much as a debt piece, or the debt, your equity never goes up and down. There's no tax benefits. There's simply just, you're getting a paycheck. It's just cash flow.
yeah, exactly.
Interest.
And you know, I do want to say a disclaimer for both you and I. We are only discussing our ideas and all. We are not selling any securities, just so that you know we put a disclaimer.
Yeah, we don't
Again,
care
we
what
are
you do. Just make sure you do it with
exactly.
information.
Information and education, and we take risks and all. Every investment has risks, so we want to make
Yes.
sure that you do your full due diligence and make sure that the operators are right and everything. And there is so much information. We just try to give our best knowledge and experience so that you could look into all those things. And of course it's 506c our funds are, which is like for investors who are accredited investors in our case, and probably in our Gualter's case also. 506b is the one, family and friends, where we cannot advertise anything and all that. But I do want to say IRR, you mentioned, internal rate of return, is a kind of like a number which is time based. So how you give the money to somebody and how they pay you back at different increments of time in the future, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 7 years. So that's what it reduces the IRR number as compared to the AAR, which is average annual return. So if the annual average return is like 18%, the IRR might be only 14% or 13% because you got return of the money back over a period of time. So it's a time value of money.
Vinny, I could stay on this conversation all day. I love this. We only got 2 minutes left. So
Yes.
when it comes to, it is hard to hire people, right? It is hard to hire
Mhm.
people. You said you incentivize them with giving them some pieces of equity. I'm sure you don't give that all up front, but you give,
No.
hey,
Yes,
under,
bonuses. Over the time span, you have a 6 month of trial period. I know in many states, after 90 days, you could let them go
yep,
without any problems and all that. But you got to really find the right person. Out of 10, you might find one. But the big thing is the
maybe.
vision. Yeah, maybe. You're so right, brother. So having the right person with you, team member, I say, and respecting them with dignity and equity and everything is so important. So important. The
I got
other
a
thing
very
before we
selfish
let you,
question.
yeah,
Very
Please do,
selfishly, this
brother.
is just for
Yeah.
me. So
Yeah.
we have our team members. We're bringing in our CEO and an operations person to run Alchemist Station, so I can do more speaking and the things I enjoy, and do more
Sure.
vacations like you, Vinny. And as I'm doing this, I'm looking into the ESOP. Is this something you're familiar with? Basically, it's like a way to give employees equity, over like 6 years, right? Over 6 years, they become fully vested. So I'm just wondering if it's something you've ever
I've
run
heard
into.
about it. I heard
Okay.
about it. Please look into that more. I know
All
there
right.
was another thing I was looking at, something. Oh my gosh, we dissolved it, but it was like a profit sharing plan with the top administrators. So that's another way to kind of look at it also. That's the other side of ESAP. I think I'm not too familiar with that term. I heard about it, but then the profit sharing is something which can really make a big difference, along with other benefits and bonuses and things like that. I do want to say one more thing. When you want to walk away from your business, you got to monitor the key performance indicators, the KPIs. The KPIs is what we should talk about, because you cannot be away from your business and not look at those things once a week or twice a week, in a half an hour meeting, or people giving you reports back on the KPIs. That's important, because that tells you the health of your business, and it tells you what the revenues are coming in, where the expenses are going, what the occupancies is, what's the people coming in and going out, all those. The KPIs are very, very important to really regularly monitor, and that puts you sleep better at night as CEO, because you're able to get that data, and that data comes in quickly to you, with the people who are experts in that company and business, who are making it happen. But every week or every 2 weeks, they are giving it to you in graphs, in data, so that you could feel good about
This is huge. Yeah, you just made me realize in the
it.
meeting I have coming up in an hour and a half, I'm going to ask
Yeah.
Steven, what are my KPIs? What
Yes.
are they? And how often should I be getting those?
Exactly. I mean, for property management business, we had 158 people, right? And now we don't have that many. We have third-party companies managing our assets. So we meet every week. My daughter meets every week for sure. I meet as much as I can, but we are able to, in half an hour or 45 minutes, find out everything that happened at that asset, and how it's moving to the next level. If there are some, in 30 days out, 90 days out, what will be the occupancies, and how we can change the market, all those things. So there are key points, 7 points or so we look at, and then we are able to get it, all those things all crunched up. And this way, the regional knows, the community manager knows, and everybody knows what we're going to be talking about KPIs in that meeting, to make it the best meeting.
So that was just too valuable. So we're gonna, as we're about to log off, I want to do something in like 30 seconds or less. This is a TikTok that's going to go out later, guaranteed. Vinny, if you could give us the top 5 apps that you use as a billionaire in real estate, what are the top 5 apps that you're obsessed with right now? Just the first ones that come to the top of your head that you absolutely love, that people need to have.
Oh, I would say definitely. Right now, I'm using every day ChatGPT, one app. I'm using Opus Pro is second app, which I just came to know about it, and I'm loving it. The other one, definitely, I would say a system, maybe Slack. Slack will come right after that. And then I will say Dropbox or Google Drive, so that you could reach anywhere in the world all the documentation and everything. And then the portals are very important to me. That's the go high level, brother. I know, I would say, and Appfolio for the investor side, if you are looking at
bonus app. Absolutely. Here, this one you can just manage all your property and raise all your capital with. Just bam.
excellent.
So this
Excellent.
is Abundance Thursdays with myself, Gualter Amarelo, and the great Vinney Chopra. We do this because we want to see you do better. Vinny said when he saw me and he saw the 100 millionaires, he said, man, that's not big enough. We need to build a million millionaires. And one of the things that he said would be a good idea would be a podcast where we just run through the 52 wealth principles. He gets to share his perspective. I get to ask questions that benefit me and other people who are where I'm at and people who might be right behind me. So we hope this is getting value to you. If you're liking it, share it. Share this with somebody who is looking to get into real estate, who's looking to learn multifamily, who's looking to syndicate, or who's looking to get out of real estate and just wants to passively invest and is starting to figure out, how do I more systematically look at my business instead of being so hands-on? Vinny is a master of that. And Vinny, as always, man, it's an honor.
I would say also, we do talk a lot about mindset and positivity and all these things, because it's not just the procedures, it's not just the business, it's what we are thinking, how we are visioning, how we are living, having the law of attraction, abundance, and manifestation coming to our businesses, our life, our relationships. That's what is the most important thing. Your business will grow 10-fold, 20-fold, 100-fold if you let your the mind right in between your ears, and we talk about that a lot. So please join us and see you next week. And God bless you with all the abundance you have right around you. Gratitude, abundance, commitment, passion, vision is so important.
Man, the people love you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vinny, you actually, you remind me of something. We are about to log off. You remind me of something that my business partner said to me once. And he said that your capacity in life, your business will never exceed your personal development. Your business success will never exceed your personal development. And I think that's why you share so much of your mindset tips with us here on Thursdays, because you do really care about people's development and Alchemist Nation and all real estate investors just rising up. So from the bottom of my heart, man, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Gualter.
Go get your walk, brother.
Moving. Yes. Thank you, brother.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Right.
Cheers.
Hey there! The upcoming episode is scheduled for Thursday. We appreciate your viewership of the Abundance Mindset Show. Tune in every Thursday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time or 12 p.m. Eastern on various social media platforms hosted by Vinney Chopra and Gualter Amarelo. Don't forget to subscribe, share your comments, and leave a 5-star review. Thank you for your support.